That's good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I've been asked to talk about the Dayton Hamvention. So that's what I'm going to do.
Hey, Bob, to present, page down.
Page down, okay, yes, all right. So, page down.
Yep.
Page down.
Huh? Technical difficulty.
Hold on.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right, just touch.
Would you space for?
No, just touch it.
So I want to start out with a couple of questions. How many of you have heard about the Dayton Hamvention?
I've heard about it.
All right, that's a good start. How many of you have been to the Hamvention once? Once, okay, thank you. Who's been there 2 to 5 times? And who's been there more than 5 times? How many of you have never been there, but think you might want to go? Why? Right. Fantastic. See if I can do this. It works. So this is where the Hamvention is. Look, this is a better picture over here. See, we have a colored distortion over here. This is the Greene County Fairgrounds in Xenia, Ohio.
That's great.
Yeah, that is great. So the thing about used to be actually started out at the Biltmore Hotel in 1952 in downtown Dayton. And one of the prizes, one of the giveaway prizes, and the first one was a television. And I'll bet you that television got gutted, put together back as a transmitter. Then they moved to Hara Arena, which is in Trotwood, which is northwest. And that were there for many, many successful years. And eventually they had to move to Xenia, to the Greene County Fairgrounds. And this is a much nicer spot than the Hara Arena was. To give you an idea, the 3 buildings you'll see up on the left-hand side of the screen are the major indoor exhibitions. There are 2 buildings up here that are also indoor exhibitions. And then in the center, and the building behind, are where the forums take place. And you see this racetrack here. This is flea market. There's flea market out here. And there's flea market down there. So it's a very expansive flea market space. So, got a little ahead of myself. The first thing I got to tell you is that a lot of people come here and you park your car. And this, in a previous slide, you can't see it, but there's a large field, very large field, where you park your car. And it's sectioned off with signs like ICOM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Kenwood 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Yezu 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Flex Radio, even Drake numbers. So it's a good idea when you get there to take a picture of the sign for the section, because you want to find your car when you get ready to leave. You see these carts out in front of the ticket office here? See what happens, you're in the parking lot or you parked your car, and these people are driving around in the parking areas, picking you up and taking you back down to where the ticket booth is. And a little hint, and I'll talk about this again later, you can start buying your tickets in January and February and have them sent to you by mail, and you get in $5 less than what it would cost you if you bought the ticket on site. So it's a good idea to do that. And the drivers are very friendly, and that's changed over the years. Indoor exhibitors, they listed 158 in the program this year. There were 58 forums that took place in the four rooms where that takes place. Massive flea market. The food is much better at Xenia than it was at Hara. basically you could get beer and Pepsi and pizza and bratwurst and hamburgers, maybe something else, that's it. But now there are food trucks in the food court with a wide variety of choices. And the past couple of years, the attendances have been about 32,000 hands from all over the world. So anyway, and lots of neat door prizes. You could actually win this antenna tower, because they bring one from Japan. This is Luzo, and some lucky stiff just figure out how to put that in his car and take it home. What can I say? And yeah, indoor exhibits. This is a picture of part of the DX Engineering exhibit, and there are people there to talk to you about the products and the organizations that are there. This is a picture of the food court. Fortunately, it wasn't a rainy day. The flags there are flags of all the nations that are attending this, so that's kind of neat too. Forums. This was a Hamvention forum that I took a picture of. You got Gordon West on the right-hand side looking in to the group. We attended a couple of forums. One was about end-fed ZEP antennas, and one was about the Havasu expedition, and so that was kind of neat. When it's a rainy day, just go for the forum. Or if you've been out there and it's hot, head for a forum. So, and then the other thing I will tell you is there are monitors throughout the exhibition spaces that show what the prize-winning ticket numbers are. So you always make it a habit to check the monitors to see if you've won a ticket or won a prize, and I didn't win one this year. But an interesting story, Stu Gilman, W4PR, and I have been going to Hamvention a lot over the years, and other Hamfest as well. And a couple of years ago, Stu said to me, you know, I've been going to Hamfest for 50 years, and I've never won anything. Now, the way this works for us is normally in January, I buy the tickets. So, and when we get together and we get to Xenia, I say, okay, here are two, pick one. And so you know what your numbers are. He's either one in front of me or one behind me. So a couple of years ago, we're coming in from being outside in the flea market. And I look up and I see that number that's one off from my ticket number. Stu's just fumbling around because he's going, and I never win anything. I was thinking about it. I said, Stu, look at the monitor. And Stu, look at the monitor. Sure enough, you want a little Linko handheld. And I have a series of pictures, and I did put them in here, but where he goes to to pick up the prize, and the look on the faces, the two faces, where the guy who's giving him the prize has this doubtful look in his face, and it's kind of like, Stu's also looking like, did my friend put you up to this, you know? And then finally he gets out into the flea market, and he's got this big, I would use an expression I probably should use, smile on his face. It's like 50 years, I finally won something. You know? So it's kind of neat. You look at the monitors, and this particular monitor, I think, was right in the ICOM booth area, which also has a lot of interesting things. ICOM had this mock-up of a radio that they planned to do next year. What was happening is that Ray, who was the national representative for ICOM in the ham radio division, was standing there behind this glass case and asking people, if you could have anything you want in a radio, what features do you want? So I think that this year was the giving ICOM the input of what the hams that were Dayton wanted. And next year, they'll come back with the next step, so we'll see what happens. Flea market. I don't know how well this picture looks on the screen, but I entitled this guy who's standing out here, he's a little bit away from the booth. And it's kind of like, I I know it was here, and I've come back now to buy it, but I'm not sure that this is the right booth. Maybe it's some other booth. So the notion here is when you go to a Hamfest, particularly one as big as Dave is, if you see something you want, take the time to ask the questions, take the time to barter if you want it. And if you walk away, you don't think you're going to find it when you get back. Because if you come back, you may not find the right place, or somebody else may have bought it. So, make your decision, take your chance. Anyway, yeah, so the flea market's kind of amazing. The other thing is you walk around, the recommendation I have if you go to the, sometimes they get some hot days. We've seen everything though. We've seen rain, we've seen snow, we've seen floods through the flea market and Hera. And so the recommendation is look where the places are, where there are benches and shade, because at some point in time, you may need that. So, but there are benches all over the place, and there's actually, the flea market is a racetrack, and there's a big stand off to one end of that, where people sometimes sit. Of course, sometimes you can't find a shady place to sit. So this is outside of the Volta hall, which, if I recall correctly, when you get your Hamfest ticket and you get in there, that's where you tear off the end that has all the information about your address and your number. You put it into the bin where they are going to pull the stuff from. So that's where you go for that. And the other thing, Stu asked me this morning, he said, you need to talk to them about the scooters. So if you have a full problem walking, you can rent a scooter there. There's a vendor that shows up, and he has hundreds of scooters, and sometimes I think people arrange this beforehand. They don't expect necessarily that when they get there, they haven't arranged it to be available. I think they rent about 500 of the scooters during the course of the Hamvention. Well, when you're out of the field, if you see them, you got plenty of space to get away from them. But these scooters also sometimes go inside the buildings, and the aisles are getting kind of crowded in certain spaces. There comes somebody with a scooter, and some of these guys don't have a lot of experience driving scooters around people. So be careful, look out for the scooters. Okay, and then people come with various setups for how they operate in the field. This guy's really prepared. And we see that very well. He's got a gigantic van and some antennas up on top. And here's a VHF, UHF roving station. The Long Island CW Club was the Club of the Year this year.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And one of the benefits you get when you get to be Club of the Year is they give you a booth. We had the opportunity to have a booth when we were Club of the Year, because we were, I forget the year, but we declined taking the booth. The current president, the president who was at the time president declined. He's no longer with us. And, I didn't get that one right.
Bob, are you near the end?
Yes, almost there. So I have some additional items that I want to talk about. There's some other things that go on around Hamvention. There's this thing called 4 Days in May, which is primarily QRP and kit building. It's on the Thursday before the Hamvention begins at a different location. There's a thing called Contest University, which you can go to. It's again on Thursday, and it'll give you some additional skills and tools that you can use when you're operating in contests. Of course, there are VE examinations there, and there is opportunities to volunteer. If you volunteer, I would suggest if you've never been, don't volunteer the first year. But Dave is volunteers, and you get a free ticket, so you get it for free. And you only have to work a couple of hours on each of the days, and the rest of the time is free. And there are banquets out there too. The Flex Radio does banquets, the DX, one of the DX organizations does banquets. So suggestion, plan your trip, buy your tickets in advance. Reserve lodging during January and February. It's too big to see everything, so really plan your visit. Get the forum schedule off of the site online and decide which forums you want to go to. Decide which organizations you want to go to talk to people. Go with the shopping list and the list of the booths you want to visit. Every year when I go, I buy the lanyards. You can also have your ticket laminated. The money that you spend for that goes to the Boy Scouts, which is why I buy the lanyards every year and have fun. And so the other thing I would tell you is here's the website if you want more information right now. They haven't put the stuff up yet for next year, but they will fairly soon. And 2 quotes: once in a lifetime, every ham owes it to himself to go to the Dayton convention. Gary Downs. It is an amazing experience. There you go.
Any questions for Bob?
Bob, yes, question.
What did you buy?
Little bits and pieces, and some of the SMA things, and some cables to use with my Zactec whisper.
If you go, it's nice to have the app.
Yes.
All the forums, and you can click here and see the door prices, the hourly ones, and the maps and the dealers, so it's nice to have the app on the iPhone.
What was the cost for the ticket to get in, and how long did it take you to travel to get there, and where did you stay?
It's about an 8.5 hour drive. You take 64 over to Charleston, and then you go up 35 across the river.
It's a beautiful drive.
It's a gorgeous drive. 8.5 hours. We've stayed at various places. This time we stayed at the Mary University of Dayton area. One of the things we like about staying there is the hot tub. And when you walk around all day in the flea market and whatever, it's really nice to get your legs back. I can't get a hot tub. But yes, it is. And the ticket, if I recall correctly, it was $25.
$25, sir.
Yeah, $25 for the ticket, but if you bought it on the line, it was $30.
And another suggestion is, I got this a few years ago, I went out 2 days early, and my wife and I went 2 days touring at, is it Wright Pattison Air Force?
Wright Pattison Air Force Base, the Air Force Museum.
The Air Force Museum is mind-boggling.
Oh yeah, that's true. And there's some other stuff.
This year, I also went to Voice of America, and they really improved that museum.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
They presented here.
Yeah.
Were you here? Yeah, how long ago was that when we had that?
Been a while.
About a year.
That was
ago.
a great presentation.
That's in Westchester, Ohio.
A little further.
A little bit further.
I did that.
Yeah, so,
I went out.
yeah. Any other questions?
Well, good, thank
Any
you.
questions from the audience out there? Oh, it's goodbye. Yeah, all right, good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Glad you had fun.
Check it out.